Hello, fellow beach maniacs and island music lovers. Welcome to the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast, where we dive into the stories behind the music. I'm your host, the Beach Maniac himself, Bill Hurley. Today we're talking with award-winning Trop Rock artist, songwriter, producer, and world traveler, Donny Brewer. Donny has truly shaped the modern Trop Rock landscape. He has won at least 25 Trop Rock Music Association awards, including Entertainer of the Year 6 times. He's on tour full-time, living in a Winnebago with his wife Michelle, and playing everything from solo house concerts to large festival shows, sometimes with his 7-piece band, the Dock Rockers. Donny's known for his energy on stage, his humor, his generosity off stage, and his ability to take a simple beach theme and turn it into something memorable. Donny, thanks so much for joining me on the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast.
For sure. This is awesome. This is amazing. It's amazing what you do. I mean, you getting the music to the people, man. That's making our job a lot easier, when guys like you are dedicated to spreading the good word.
We try to do just a little bit, but you do all the hard work. I want to talk about your background and your love of the Trop Rock community, but first I want to dive right in and talk about a few of your songs. You have so many great Trop Rock songs, it's difficult to select just a few, but let me start with this one. Earlier this year, you produced an amazing music video for a song called It's My Drunk Day. And the video is shot at a bar in Gulf Shores. It features more than 20 Trop Rock artists and personalities. And I'm not going to list them all, but some of them are Robin Tricker, Carrie Welling, Coley McCabe, Kirsty Krause, Kitty Stedman, and many, many more. Tell me how that all came about, and tell me about the song itself, It's My Drunk Day.
Well, so a while back, and I can't tell you what year, but several years ago, we were kind of on the road frequently with Eric and Gina Babin from Radio Trop Rock. Just happened to be going to the same festivals, and so we had our RVs in sync and traveling across the country and having good times. And as I tend to do, I tend to have some rums every now and then, and Eric seems to have some beers every now and then. And we typically get drunk and then leave the girls to take care of us. Well, this is, it's not like we didn't invite them to drink with us, but, they're smarter than we are. And so they tend to take on that job. And so one year, we were down there in Gulf Shores, and we went to go see Kitty and Mel over there at the Floribama. And so the girls, it was supposed to be their drunk day, and instead Donny ran merchandise, and Donny got way too drunk because, I'm not on stage. And so there's no song in between the sips, you know what I mean? So the sips were too frequent. Yeah. And they were like, well, we need like a button or something. We need something that says it's our drunk day when it's our turn. Okay. So we made It's My Drunk Day buttons for the ladies. And then that kind of caught on a little bit. And then I was like, well, it should be a song too. And the week that I thought it should be a song, I happened to be talking with Robin Tricker, who's a great songwriter up there in New Jersey area. And I was like, will you write this with me? And she's like, sure. And we wrote it over the phone pretty much. And so we were like, okay, this song is too fun, and it's about the girls getting to have their drunk day instead of the guys. So I'm like, well, I can't just do a video of me. I got to get the girls involved. Well, it also so happens that my birthday falls during Meeting the Minds. Now, so what I told all my friends and all my girlfriends and all my guy friends, I said, hey, we're going to have a birthday party over at the Burro Azul in Gulf Shores, and you guys should just come because we're also going to shoot a video. And they're like, okay. And so that's what we did. We had
wasn't hard to talk him into that one, was it?
It was pretty easy to talk me into it, but I thought, that's really the perfect place to try and get all these musicians together is at Meeting the Minds where they're already coming anyway. So it was a little bit easier than it should have been.
So what's involved in, I mean, it's one thing to bring all those people together. It's another thing to actually create a video. What was involved with all the video aspect of it?
Well, it was interesting. These days, it's a lot with the technology and advances on the phones, the iPhones in particular. It's a whole lot easier to get something that looks professional without hiring a crew for $8,000 to come in and try and shoot it. And plus, we were in tight in a tight space there, the bar. So we didn't need long range lenses or anything like that. So it was quite an easy concept shoot. And the main photographer on there was myself and John Patty, and then my brother Rick. I think Tom Shepard held the camera a couple of times, but we shot 3 cameras rolling all the time on every scene. And we actually organized exactly every shot. I know it kind of looks like a haphazard kind of a thing, but we organized every shot from what angle each person would be shot and what line they would say. And I created an actual karaoke video that had all the lines that each girl would sing and color-coded to their name. And so all they had to look is if they weren't sure about where their part was, they looked and the color code had their name, and so they sang that part. And it was a little bit easier also because they didn't have to memorize their lines because it's supposed to be a karaoke video, so it's okay that they're looking down at the computer and everything. And I told them, just have fun with it. Don't worry about us. We're just doing lighting for 20 minutes, and while you guys get drunk, and then we'll shoot this thing. And you shoot each scene a million times, to get all the shots that you want, which is kind of confusing for a lot of people, but the room actually was filled with pretty much nothing but pros, singers, songwriters, and their husbands, and people that are around it all the time. And so we didn't have to keep the crowd ruly. But it did turn out that I only ended up with about 5 minutes left for my birthday. Everything else was shooting this video.
And then you're the one who actually produced the video. You took it back into your Winnebago and worked on it, or?
Yep, I edited it right on this computer that I'm on right now.
That's amazing, because it looks like such a professional job. It really does. It really came out well. Both the song and the video.
Thank you. This kind of new world we're living in is really opened up opportunities for independent artists, just on the fact that the technology has caught up, that we can actually produce something that, if you've got a little bit of an imagination and a little bit of an ear, you can produce records and you can make videos, and not have to spend all your money on that budget, which really, there's not a lot of return on making a video. You can spend $12,000 on a video, and it doesn't really bring $12,000 back unless you're Beyonce or whatever. But you got to keep your name out there. You got to stay relevant, and you got to do fun things. This is a fun things type of genre.
That looked like so much fun for that day.
It was, and the girls.
I think anyone who watches that video wishes they were there.
And I tell you, really fun time recreating the video at the Trop Rock Music Association Awards this year at Meeting the Minds was really fun as well. A couple of the girls that weren't able to be there for the shooting of the video were actually there, and I think maybe and some of the guys too. And my favorite part on that was Tall Paul, who wasn't. He was there, but he had other things going on, so he wasn't able to be in the video as one of the guys at the bar holding a purse. But I convinced him to be part of the presentation at the awards show, and he's whatever 6'7" or something, and so he was holding the disco ball there the whole time, just holding it like it was part of the furniture. And then at the end of the video, everybody got off stage and he was still standing there. I'm like, no, you can go now. It was hilarious. And my wife, who's not a drinker whatsoever, drank the bottom of the rum bottle that I had backstage on stage when she said, no, it's my drunk day. And she drank the bottle on stage, which was
Good
amazing.
for her. Let's talk about your Jimmy Buffett tribute song, Keep the Party Going. That's an amazing song. What inspired you to co-write that song, and how did it come about?
Well, when Jimmy passed, we were at the Surf Ballroom in Iowa Saturday night, at whatever 12:31 in the morning. We got the word that Jimmy had passed, and the first thing I did was start texting coral reefers, and I'm like, "Is this real? Is this And a lot of the coral reefers weren't aware of how close he was, and except maybe Mac, and so it was a shock to those guys too. So I spent a lot of time on the phone with them. But two thoughts came into my head, just because I'm ever the producer. My first thought was, well, tomorrow we have to do a tribute show, and we have to get everybody who's at the event in it. We have to do one immediately, so we have to kind of make it up, and because we got to be on stage at noon, and so we did that. And then my second thought was, there's going to be a lot of tribute songs written about and for Jimmy, and rightly so, and because he was not just kind of a game changer, but I think if he never wrote a single tropical song, he still would be an amazing songwriter in our world, and a huge influence on a lot of us. And so there was definitely going to be a lot of tribute songs, but the tendency is to write something that's sad and reflective for a guy that great. But that went against everything I thought that he wanted. And there's a reason he didn't tell anybody he was sick for a long time. He wanted us to have fun for as long as possible. And his message was, have fun and keep the party going. And so I'm like, that's the song that I want to write. I want it, and I want the music to reflect that too. It doesn't need to be sad and sappy. It needs to have some of that Gulf Coast, New Orleans-y type feel, but it also needs to have elements of his tropical Caribbean volcano type feel too. So I tried to blend those things together. And me not really being I would say I'm a Buffett fan, but I'm not a Buffett enthusiast or a historian. And I was like, well, if I'm going to write a song like this, I got to get somebody to co-write it with me who is. And so I turned to Mr. Spradlin, J.D. Spradlin at Radio Margaritaville. I thought to myself, who has heard more Jimmy Buffett songs besides Jimmy Buffett, than anyone else? And it's got to be JD. He's been playing the music, and if you ever listen to Radio Margaritaville, he has tidbits on every little song. He knows everything about every live recording. He's just just purely from the music angle, not even from stories behind, where did Jimmy grow up and where did he do, but the music itself. And so I was like, that's the guy I want to write. And I called him up and I said, hey, you ever written a song before? And he said, no. I said, you wanna? And so I had the music, and then we wrote the lyrics over the phone.
Wow. And then where'd you go with it? What'd you do with it? Once you talk and you come up with the song itself, what's the next step?
Well, I recorded the music to it, and there was a need to put a bunch of coral reefers on it and all that, but I wanted to get it out quicker than that, so I put it out pretty quick. And but since then, it's kind of been a staple of the show, especially when we have the full band, and I hope that it goes beyond my little performances of it. I hope somebody picks it up someday.
Well, I'm sure you got a lot of very positive feedback on it, not just from reviewers, but from fans. And every time you play it, people love that song, right?
Yeah, it's And it's got a really strong line. I mean, the line is a direct quote from Jimmy, so can't go wrong there. But yeah, you don't have to explain to people that they should sing along. They know to do that already, even if they've never heard it. So it's a good thing.
So hey, keep the party moving. Said live every day like it was stolen. Now it's your life and you only get one, so you might as well go and have a little fun. Hey, keep the party going. So let's all toast the ones before. Keep on passing that tiki torch. Said hey, keep the party going. I said hey, keep the party going. Oh. Here we go.
And speaking of Jimmy Buffett, you have a much earlier song, a very humorous one, titled Live Like Jimmy Buffett. Tell us about that song.
That's an interesting one. I said before that I'm a Jimmy Buffett fan. I had like Fruitcakes and Beach House on the Moon. I have 2 albums. So Jimmy wasn't at the forefront of my writing, but I just happened to love that Caribbean influences and stuff, and put it in my music when I write. And so I was focused more on writing lyrics about Lyle Lovett and some of these guys that were more. It's not that they were less of an influence, but when I was growing up, they were a whole lot more closer to me, as far as influencing. And so I had them, and I had these different lines from, playing like Eddie Van Halen and stuff all in there, but I didn't really have a way to close it. It was just like saying a bunch of names. And a good friend of mine, the late great Bob Dildy, great songwriter, I played it for him, or played what I had working, and he was like, "Whoa, you didn't include the main guy. You gotta get Jimmy Buffett in there." And I guess he assumed, because of my music style, that I'm just like gigantic Buffett enthusiast. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. I'm like, clearly he's an influence on me. The first time I heard Fruitcakes, I got permission that day. I might get on a tangent here, but the day I heard Fruitcakes, everybody's got a cousin in Miami. There's a lot of great tunes on there, but that's the first time I heard somebody really make something obviously Caribbean, and with the instrumentation and the steel pan and all these things, without having a song about that. And it just kind of gave me permission. It was like, because up until that point, I think I was making music that the songs that were about tropical things, I put tropical instrumentation on, but the songs that were not, I did not. And that day I heard that album, I was like, wow, you have permission to make whatever sound you want. Doesn't matter what the subject matter is about. If that's who you are, make that kind of music. And so, and then I was very proud to kind of rearrange the tune so that it landed on Live Like Jimmy Buffett, because the music, but then also because of the lifestyle. And really, the lifestyle is what led me to the sound. You know what I mean? Like, I was a beach bum growing up, even though my beach was not as pretty as the one Jimmy was visiting. I was still a beach bum, and that was the mindset that resulted in the music style that I love. And so I had to have Jimmy in there. And I think I was kind of fortunate, because it never occurred to me that if you write or if you title an album Live Like Jimmy Buffett, that someone who might be searching for Jimmy Buffett live on the internet might arrive at my album.
There's that too.
So a few folks did, find Donny Brewer that knew nothing about Parrot Heads, perhaps, or the Trop Rock community. And so that helped me a little bit, for sure. There was a
Well,
guy
it's just-
in Tampa. I'll tell stories all day long if you let me.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But there was a guy in Tampa, Florida, who called me up and he says, or not called me, or messaged me on the Facebooks, and he said, "Hey, can you send me about 20 of your CD?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." Said, I'd run a little boat charter thing in Tampa, and I spent less money on the boat than I did on the stereo system, and I play your music that I found when I was searching for a live Jimmy Buffett album. I played it on there, and I play it really loud for people, and they always want to buy the album. Could you send me some CDs? And so I sent him 20 CDs, and I said, I'll trade you a boat ride for them. And he sold them all. He said, can you send me another 20 CDs? So I lucked out there a little bit, and I'm still friends with the guy. I talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact. He wants to go on a boat ride, so
Awesome.
that was a cool, happy thing.
And that song is just one of the funniest songs ever. And it's just kind of, there's a little self-deprecation going on there, and just all the references to Jimmy and the lifestyle and how you want to live that way. It's just for anyone who hasn't ever heard it, you got to check it out. It's just hilarious.
Well, and it's truth, it's like it's no accident that the best songs are rooted in truth, even if it might be exaggerated a little bit. It's all true. It's like true stuff.
And maybe you wanna be my wife, and we could live like Jimmy Buffett for the rest of our life. Alright. Yeah, yeah. If I could sell records like them British boys, would you come with me and make some noise? If I looked a little more like Elvis and lit my guitar on fire, if I could moonwalk and dive off the stage and sing a little bit higher, then would you love me better and wanna grow old with me? And we could live like Jimmy Buffett in a castle by the sea. Honey, don't you wanna live like Jimmy Buffett and get higher than Bob Marley? Oh yeah.
And then you have a song called La 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 Trop Rock, which is has a shout out to a lot of your Trop Rock colleagues. Tell us about that one.
It is. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's kind of me going, hey, if you happen to follow Donny Brewer, you should also know about all these other guys who are legends in Trop Rock and newcomers and everything like that. But Jerry Diaz was the first guy who kind of took me under his wing and said, hey, you need to go play here, go play there, go. And then Sonny Jim and all those guys. And kind of from pretty early on, after meeting those guys and seeing what they did, I was like, man, I got to put those guys in a song one day. The first line that I had was, Sonny Jim, won't you play me a sunny song? And I never wrote the song. I'll toured and everything, but the song never just came to me. I wasn't going to try and craft it. It needed to come to me. And there was nothing that like kind of bell that went off or anything that said, here's how you need to write it. It was just me running across the lyric. I had a whole word or Google Docs thing, and the only words on there were, Sonny Jim, won't you play me a sunny song? And I was like, man, I got to write that song. And just one day I did. But they're my heroes,
How many Trop Rockers are mentioned in that song?
Oh, I used to know the number. I don't know. It's 30-something, I think. I don't know the number now. It used to be a question I would ask at concerts, but I haven't done that in a while. And then there's what's beautiful is like before the song was even out, there was another 30 that I wanted to mention that are coming into Trop Rock. So it's a beautiful thing.
You could do a follow-up.
That's it. I need to do the reprise.
On a beach in Mexico, we sing la 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 la, we'll get by.
So I want to do, like I said, there's so many Donny Brewer songs. I didn't know which ones to ask you about. And I had this long list, and I kept trying to whittle it down. And then I realized this podcast can't last 3 hours. So I thought maybe we'd do like a rapid fire of a few other songs. And if you could just tell me a little something about each one of them. I have like 5 or 6.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
A little
good.
more rum. A little more rum.
A little more rum. Interesting you mentioned that. My co-writer on that song, my brother Rick, just walked up. He's here. We're in my brother Rick's house. Well, not his house, but his tiki cantina. Let's see if you can see there. There's Catharita's Cantina, and
nice.
That he built as soon as he decided to retire the first time. And anyway. There was a song that he had started writing or had probably finished, and he said, "What do you think of this song?" And I said, "Well, that's my song now." And so I said, "Well, this doesn't work and this doesn't work," and we changed the music and we changed about a third of the lyrics, I guess. But that's my brother's mind creation there, and. It was too autobiographical. He's not even a rum guy. He's more of a beer guy, I think. And so yeah, it was too much. I had to claim that one. And I'm glad. I think he's probably glad that I did. That one is one of the biggest showpieces that we have now. It's because everybody likes to yell a little more rum.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
A little more rum to make the wind blow in the sails of my escape. A little more rum to find blue waters and no more cloudy days. A little more rum to take me on a trip to a land of little cares. Oh, any place is paradise as long as she's not there.
And on that topic, Rum and Somethin.
Mm-hmm. Rum and Somethin. The very quick story on that is I was on a all-inclusive trip with Barefoot Reggie Starrett playing music, and on those trips you definitely try all the drinks they have on board because it's all-inclusive. If you don't like it, pour it out and go to another bar. But that also means you try a bunch of things you would never drink otherwise. And so about day 6 or 7, me and Reggie pulled up to the bar at the same time. And I said, almost exhausted from trying all these drinks, I turned to him and I said, "What are you having?" He goes, "I don't know, rum and something." I said, "We're writing that song. We're definitely writing that song." And so the song was born.
I need a rum and something with the twist of whatever you got. 'Cause I haven't forgot what I came to forget, so I'm gonna need a lot. A rum and something, maybe tropical or blue. I surrender, you're the bartender, I leave it up to you.
Maybe my favorite Donny Brewer song. And I saw you, I had the pleasure of seeing you perform it at a house concert in Milwaukee a few months ago. This beer is making me awesome. That's a real crowd pleaser, but tell me about that song.
Yeah, and also a Reggie co-write, and so I was at Reggie's house, the same place we wrote Rum and Somethin, but at a different time. I was there at his place in Georgia, and tiki bar much like this one, and a pool there, and we were going, all right, what are we going to write? Because the last time we wrote a song here, it got Song of the Year. So we better write something. And we were drinking rum that day. And so he had some lyrics, and, you know, he played a piece of a verse, and I was like, you know, this is a little bit harder for me to relate to, because this song is about a guy who basically has a fight with his lady or his wife or whatever, and then drives to a bar to go drinking to erase his problems. Me being blissfully married for many, many years, I know nothing of this, but I do know about drinking some rum. And I said, and having some beer, and I was like, okay, so this beer, if we're gonna do this, we got to do this Texas honky tonk style. But I want to keep it tropical, so let's make it reggae. And so blending of the reggae and the Texas dance hall country style turned that song into a real beer drinking song. And proof of that is the fact that the great Kevin Fowler and Roger Krager, which if you're not from Texas, you probably go, who? But they're basically the Willie and Waylon of this age now in Texas, and they have a band which is just the two of them called Dos Borrachos, which means the two drunks. And so they decided to record the song. So it's my first actual song recorded by a guy with a record deal. So it's a big deal for us, for sure. And proud of that.
It's making me awesome. Bulletproof, 10 foot tall and then some. I'm feeling 30 years younger, smarter, stronger, and a lot more handsome. Yeah, this beer is making me awesome.
Island Time.
Island Time. Very interesting. It's not a song that I do typically a lot, and only because it usually gets replaced in the set by Rum and Somethin, and they're very similar, and they have a very similar kind of beat and vibe and so forth. And so it kind of got replaced and didn't get played live a lot. But here recently, we were doing a thing called Mexico Meltdown, which is our favorite travel event that we host. And but this year, my son Kai came with us and his lovely bride. And so he is the co-writer on that song, my son Kai. And I cannot tell you how old he was, but he was not drinking age, I can tell you that very much. And so he was looking at some of the drinking songs and stuff I've been writing, and he was like, we got to write something that's more about the tropical scene and so forth. And I'm like, well, that's easy, and you just need to come up with a song about relaxing and taking it easy. And so he said Island Time. I was like, okay. Little did I know at the time that there are 837,000 island times just in Trop Rock. And now we kid people that it's a rite of passage now. Was when you come into Trop Rock, you have to write an island time song, or you're not invited in.
I think I heard on Radio Trop Rock one day they did like a montage of all the island time songs, including Howard Livingston's Key West Time, which is an awesome song.
Well, and we kid Mike Nash, because he'd been in our Trop Rock world for some time before he came out with his Island Time song, and we were kind of like, did you listen to any of our records? My excuse was I didn't know about Trop Rock, or that there was a whole world out there. Actually, that's kind of the reason that my first album didn't come out till 2012. But some of the songs I had written were early 90s, and but it didn't come out till 2012, just because I didn't think that there was an audience for it. So once the technology caught up to where I could record it at home with no money, that's what I did. And I was literally burning those CDs by myself, like on my computer, one at a time, because I couldn't afford to get them printed at a record company. So
you mentioned Mike Nash. You co-wrote, I believe, Wooden Chair with Mike Nash. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me about that one.
Yes, we were actually up in Chicago at Bill and Kristen's place when they had a place up there in Chicago. And probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're just out on the patio, having a soda. All right, well, okay, it was whiskey. But, and so he had just come back from his Belize trip, or one of his many Belize trips. And, he was talking about this place where there was just like one wooden chair sitting on there, and he was like, we just don't take the time to just sit there, like as soon as we get to the beach, we take our pictures and go into the next thing, take a video, take a selfie, blah blah blah, but we don't sit there and just enjoy it, look at it and enjoy it. And I was like, this is a great concept for a song. We gotta he had a line or two, and I'm the only thing that I'm regretful is that I didn't come up with the line that's my favorite line in the song. That's a Mike Nash line. Spend the years of your life putting life in your years.
Yeah, that's a great line. That is.
And he just kind of mumbled that line. I'm like, that's our main line. That's we gotta have that in the chorus. But we thought it was an all right song as we were writing it. But then I had the idea. I was like, what if we told the whole thing from the chair's perspective? Because, sitting there, well, the chair's sitting there too. Like, what if we didn't tell that until about 2/3 through the song, that this is actually the chair going, hey, you guys should stop and see the view, take some time. And like, no, we got a song. Now we got a song.
Figure it out from where I'm sitting, man. Life's all about the love that you give and the time that you spend with the ones that you love. Let you know that you're living. So take a day off, drink a few beers, spend the years of your life putting life in your years. And when you see an old wooden chair, just sit there.
I got one more to ask about, and that's Beach Bum.
All right, well, Beach Bum is probably one of the oldest songs, or no, it is the oldest song on any of my records. I think it was written around 91 or 2, and or it was recorded around 91 or 2. It was probably written before that. Anyway, I was down at the Port Aransas Beach, which is one of my favorite beaches, and the only beach you can get to from Texas quickly. And I'd come back with this song in my head, and the way the bass part and the percussion and everything, and I wanted to get it down as quickly as I could. And I had just come back from being on the beach where I was pretty sure you could live forever if you did it right. And but I didn't. The only instruments I had was acoustic guitar and a bass guitar. And that was it. I didn't have drums or any kind of percussion or anything, any way to get that sound down. And the only recording unit I had was a little 4-track tape recorder. So it actually uses a cassette tape to record 4 tracks. And that's all I had. And so what I did is I looked around through the house to find some percussion things. And I found a hairbrush, and I did on the desk. And then I went and found the trash cans from the bathroom, and they were plastic, and then they went doot 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 like that for bongos. And then I found the big laundry tub, and I dumped the laundry out into the mudroom floor, and I put it down, and I hit my fist on it, went boom, 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 and I made this percussion sound on tape, on a magnetic tape little thing. And then I came back and I played the parts, and then I played another guitar part, and then but you had to bounce down each time. So you play one, and then you play another track, and then bounce those 2 down. Now you got 2 more free spaces, and And so I did that with all the backup vocals, and I needed it to sound like a crowd. And if you just do your voice a bunch of times, it just sounds like a chorus effect. It doesn't sound like a crowd. And so I would go, ay, 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 ay. And then I'd go on the next track, ay, 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 ay. And then I'll go, ay, 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 ay. I do all these different voices, and I put all that on there. And my voice was much higher back then, too. And so anyway, I recorded it. I got it down. Good, I'll never forget, because you can forget songs just as quickly as you come up with them. If you don't believe me, if you have a dream at home, right, you wake up with this dream and you go, hon, you got to hear this dream that I had. It's so crazy. And you go to tell her and you go, what happened? You're like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
So anyway, to make this long story even longer, even though it's supposed to be a short story, years later, when I'm recording the album in 2010 or 11, I found that old recording, and I tried to recreate it with, now that I had access to good drums and all these, and I could never make that feeling the way it felt that day. And so what you hear on there is the 1992 or 1 recording from the tape. I just transferred it over, and that's why I sound like a 12-year-old on there. So there you go.
Wow. I got to re-listen to that now with that story. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I've always been kind of goofy that way when it comes to recording, just because I think it's important to give the song whatever the song wants, rather than try and serve your needs or what you think your audience wants. I think it's important for the song to be honest and real, and whatever it is you do to make that sound, just listen to the song. The song will tell you what it wants. I only have 2 rules when it comes to making Donny Brewer recordings. Only 2 I've always lived by. First rule, give the song what it wants. Don't try to give it what you think it needs, or I don't try to write or record a song to match the Donny Brewer style. And I don't try to match what I think the audience will want to hear. I just give the song, once it's written, what does that song want? That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, never record a song that you don't want to sing for the rest of your life. Because that you don't know which one people are going to like. You may write your masterpiece and you're like, this is the best song ever written, and no one wants to hear it, but they want to hear beer. Yeah. So you just gotta love it. If it's going on your record, you better love it. That's it.
All right. Now I gave you that list of songs. Is there one that I left out that you would have wanted me to have included?
Oh, I mean, there's so many songs that I love. Like, because of what I just said, I love every song that's on there. It's like your children. It's like your babies. It's like, I love each and every one of those. So I wouldn't pick one out from the crowd. It's usually your most recent ones are your favorites, but I'm enjoying right now. There's a song called "I'm Too Tiki For That" that I wrote with my wife and Bill and Kristen from Chicago, now in Florida, and we shot a video for it because we're in Florida, and we had a green screen and rum, and so we made a video, and it's ridiculously funny. And I was hoping to get it out this summer, but I did not do a good job of editing yet. But I'm excited for that one to come out.
So it's interesting. You've mentioned that your brother wrote one of your songs, your son wrote one of the songs, and you just mentioned that your wife at least partially wrote one of your songs. A big family affair. You're a family man. Tell me about your family life.
Well, I mean, I don't really like much my family. They're not. Oh, no, sorry. He's right there. That's why. No, but I do enjoy writing with people who are not songwriters, because not that say my brother is a huge songwriter. You will find his credits all over my album. So excluding him, the other family members and friends, and like J.D. Spradlin, who'd never written a song before. I love to write with guys like that, because they don't understand the process, and so their writing is a little bit more pure. It's just, they tend to do the opposite of what what they need to do, they try to write poetry. They try to write rhyming lines. Well, this rhymes. I'm like, yeah, but it didn't say anything about what you're trying to say. Once I get them off of that, they're a little bit more pure about thinking about thoughts, about experiences, about things than I would be, because I've written so many songs about those same subjects that I
Mhm.
that I shy away from it, and they haven't. And so they have new ideas that come in. I'll go, wow, I never thought of that. But I've done the rhyming and the music. I'm a pro at that, so I can attach that to what they're, the emotions and the ideas that they're bringing in, which is great, because then everybody knows their job. They know that they're not supposed to write chords because they don't know how to write chords, and I'm letting them come up with the ideas, and it's a perfect bounce back and forth.
And so, again, tell me about your family life. Do you live in a Winnebago? Is that your home,
I,
or do you have a home and you just spend
yes.
most of your time in the Winnebago?
So we sold our house in 2016. And so we've been living in an RV ever since then. And we had a big bus. We had a 40-foot bus. We still own it. It's in Mobile, parked at Eric Erdman's house. But we have a smaller one now because, kind of COVID happened and diesel prices, weren't the same. And so we ended up, uh, and realizing that we didn't need to carry our entire world with us all the time. So we have some things in storage and we use a smaller RV, but yeah, we live in it 24/7. We have also discovered, that we have a lot of friends, across the planet, and they're all too giving, and they're all our family, really. You ask about my family, who's my family? Well, my brother. I'm at my brother's house right now. Uh, but but we have this family of Trop Rock fans all across the planet who do house concerts and are just so inviting and loving, and you can call them up at any second, not to do a house concert there, but just to go, hey, you want to go have dinner, play some cards? Because you're your family, they're your friends. Our big RV broke down in Houston uh, one time. We're on the side of the road. No less than 5 parrot heads stopped to ask us if we were okay, and one of them said, "Here, use my truck. I'll walk home." So, like, it's just unreal how awesome our little community of people is. They're just all most of them are retired, and they just want to hang out and have a beer with you, and that's a cool thing. That's what I do with my family anyway, so they're family.
And do you have a studio in your Winnebago as well?
Well, the funny thing, these days, you don't need much to have a studio. Technology again has come around. You pretty much need a really good laptop, some good mics, and some guitars and so forth. If you need to record drums, you got to have a real studio. But um, so the thing about RVs is that they're designed to block out the road noise and be very quiet inside. So guess what? That makes a perfect vocal booth. It makes a perfect place to record acoustic guitars. I prefer that to go into a studio. It's like it's right there, and it's easy, and it's quiet, and so a lot of people don't know that it's the perfect place to record.
And you even
And
shoot some of your videos right in the RV. I saw one with Tom Shepard
yep,
recently.
yep,
That's
you.
pretty cool. Just invite people in, turn
That's
on the
right.
camera, and do your thing, right?
There it is. There it is. Easy day. And it's great too, because you can leave it set up all the time, and so if you have inspiration, you can just boom, go right to it.
All
Yep.
right. I'm running out of time here. I got a bunch more questions.
All
So
right, I'm
I'm
gonna go
going to try
faster. I
to.
promise. I promise.
How did you get involved in the Trop Rock world? You didn't start with Trop Rock, right?
Well, yeah, I've played all kinds of music throughout my career, but again, I didn't do any trop rock just because I didn't think that there was an audience for it. In my eyes, there was already a Jimmy Buffett and a Kenny Chesney and so forth, and so I didn't really understand that there was an audience for it. I didn't know about Parrot Heads. I didn't know about Trop Rock. I didn't know about house concerts, any of that. And I was doing some songs at a place called, was it the Boathouse? It'd been cool if I'd known the right name. Anyway, we were doing a songwriter thing with my buddy Brian Hankins, and just singing some songs. And I sang a few of my songs, most of my songs at the time. And then I did Margaritaville because it got requested. And when I played Margaritaville, it was the only Jimmy Buffett song I knew, but I did know the lost verse, and I sang that. And so on the break, a guy named Chris Durden came over to me, and he said, "Hey, I really like your Trop Rock songs." And I said, "What the hell is Trop Rock?" And he said, "Oh yeah, it's this like subgenre, and I could tell you're a Parrot Head because you sang the lost verse of Margaritaville, so you should come play for our Parrot Head club." And I was like, "Wait a minute, they have clubs? What the hell?" He says, "Yeah, you can play a house concert too." I was like, "Wait a minute, you didn't say house party, you said house concert." And from that moment, I was like, holy crap. And I did play his house, and he introduced me to Jerry Diaz, and Jerry Diaz introduced me to a world of shows and events and things, and Sonny Jim. And they said, you got to get down to Meeting the Minds and see what this is all about. And so we sold the house, and we got in it. At the time, we put our house on for sale, and we drove the minivan down to Key West. And while we were driving down there, the house sold. And so we took that money, bought an RV, and the rest is history.
Wow. So tell me, just kind of to wrap this up, about your overall feelings about the Trop Rock community. And that was probably, how many years ago was that you said you got started with it? And then tell me about, over the years, what that Trop Rock community has meant to you.
Yeah, so my album came out in 2012. It wasn't till 14 that I met, that Chris Durden saw me there and said, "Hey, you gotta meet Jerry Diaz and all these guys." And so then it was 2015 that we went down to our first Meeting the Minds. It was a great time going down and Meeting the Minds. I was scheduled for no gigs at all. I just wanted to go down there and see what it was. And I played on 16 different stages, including the pit stop parties on the way down. And like, that just gave me the impression, it's like, this is not like the Nashville world, and it's not like the rock or blues world, or this is a community of musicians and a community of people, a family of people, and they all just want each other to do well, and they all just want each other to have a good time, maybe make a little money. And by the way, I'm quoting Jimmy Buffett here again. I've been doing a lot of work with Uncle Jim Mayer, and he gave me a quote from Jimmy. He says, "Yeah, it's what we do." He says, "We have a good time, make a little money, and do a little good, in that order." And that's what I noticed about this community. These people, they're doing all three of those things all the time, and they're just making each other and the world a better place. And I'm like, this is a match made in heaven, because that's what my music has already been before I didn't knew that these folks existed. It's like finding your long lost family, and it just encouraged me to attack it stronger. In other words, not worried that I just sold my house and done all that, but just to go out there and see the world and make the music, because, one day we're all going to be Jimmy Buffett, going, "See you later, have some fun, and keep the party going." So I'm trying to keep that party going right now.
All right. That's a great note to finish on. And I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been great diving into your music and your travels and your role in the Trop Rock community. I learned a lot about you and Trop Rock today.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I can't wait to see you with the Comets again. And thank Thank you so much for doing what you do, is spreading that word, because that's the only thing that's wrong with our little family is it's just not quite large enough. We just need some more fans
Yeah.
out there. So thank you for doing the hard work to make that happen.
There you go. All right. Thanks again, Donnie. Appreciate it. Well, I hope to run into you again sometime soon.
All right, you better have some spotted cow with you.
I will. I'll make sure I do. And I'll bring Biz too. If in case I don't have any, he will.
Perfect. He is my
All right.
spirit animal.
He's a lot of people's spirit animal. All right. Thanks again.
All right, aloha, y'all.
Aloha.
Thank you again, Donny Brewer, for joining me on the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast. For more information about Donny, visit beachmaniac.com, where this podcast is housed and where you'll find both an audio and video podcast, along with some video clips and links to Donny's social media sites. You'll also find the video podcast on the Beach Maniac YouTube channel. Just search for Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast. And thanks to everyone for joining me, Bill Hurley, the Beach Maniac, as we go behind the scenes and explore the magic behind the music. For more about me and my passion, visit beachmaniac.com or contact me at bill@beachmaniac.com. Remember, whether you're soaking up the sun or catching the waves, we hope you're feeling those good beach vibes. Until next time, keep the sand between your toes and the ocean breeze in your hair. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll catch you on the next wave.
For sandals and caps.